These past 2 weeks haven't been very good for me for reasons that I may eventually reveal. I am someone who would describe himself as being reluctant to speak to people online in a recurring, friendly capacity. And the reason for that is too many people have made it appear that they were interested in talking to me just to seemingly out of the blue reverse course and do something indicative of never wanting to speak to me again, like blocking me or unfriending me on a site where I can't say anything to them unless I am on their friend list. Because I keep seeing these patterns, I'm not as open to trying to make something work with a new person I meet online. Occasionally, however, whether it's because of how nice the person appears to be or them seeming to show interest in getting to know me, I find myself slipping. And last month, I slipped and tried with someone, and just like those that came before, she let me down. You have some people who will deride me for making a video on this person, and they're welcome to do that, but I see it more as me venting about a situation with an individual who made it impossible for me to directly address the issues that will be discussed here with her. I'm all for hashing out issues with a person, but when they prevent you from being able to speak to them and you're left with an opinion on what they did that you can't express to them, you might look for another outlet, such as making a video, as a means to feel better about what happened. I made a video a couple of months back and she commented, "Good video." I was somewhat annoyed by this because I have received this comment in the past, and generally I prefer for people to describe what they like about my video rather than vaguely saying it is of quality. But nonetheless, I chose to look on the bright side by acknowledging that she had responded well to my video. I noticed on her channel that she said she was open to doing a collaboration, which is when two or more people get together to make a video. I have never done one before and inquired about it. After several days of no response on Instagram, she admitted that she did not know I was the same person who contacted her on IG, despite having the same physical appearance of the person who contacted her. Her logic was astounding. But we seemed to hit it off. She liked a lot of the same things that I did, mostly some shared films that we both enjoyed, and it seems she was trying to get to know me when she asked about my brother, what we did together, etc. I welcomed all of this because she was transparent about herself as well, telling me different things that even now I won't reveal in the public manner because they're irrelevant to what ended up happening. And then she stopped responding. Her explanation was that she was busy working 50 hours a week. My policy when it comes to people I talk to and their schedules is that I am willing to be as sympathetic as possible, provided I get some kind of signal from them that they have free time eventually. Take my best friend, for example, full-time college student, but we always speak at least once a week on the same day as to adhere to his schedule. I have no problem accepting the fact that she, as an adult, had obligations outside of myself. What I do have a problem with is being expected to wait an inordinate amount of time for her to respond with no sign or signal of when this could possibly change or we could speak again. 4 Fridays pass and she never replies to my message. She goes online for a period a few days before the block, which did rub me the wrong way because I don't understand why she couldn't have just written a sentence to me in that time. I had one guy not send me a message for a year, and I fully believed him when he said he had not been online in months because I had not seen him active and responding to other people. And because of this positive experience with him, I know that there are some people who are genuinely interested in talking but have obligations that prevent them from doing so for extended periods of time. Back to her, I'll admit this was a pretty irritating period for me because I would keep getting notifications from Insta Garbage and think it was her finally responding. And my suspension of disbelief starts to run thin with the progression of time. So I can believe a 50-hour work week prevents someone from responding to me for a week or two, but a month? Here's the oh so vile message I wrote to her before she blocked me. "So it's been 4 weeks. I would rather you just say you don't want to speak to me if you're unwilling to reply after almost a month. I confess I have a bias toward myself, that I see things in favor of me usually by default. But I can't understand where this message would offend her at all, let alone to the point of prohibiting me from speaking to her again. When I read this message, which I've done a few times in the process of making this video, I interpret it as someone who has been patient and is asking when their waiting will be concluded via the person they've been waiting on talking to them again, or if this person does not want to speak to him anymore. I would completely understand me getting blocked if I called her out of her name or was cursing at her or kept sending her messages when she told me to stop, but none of this happened. This was the first thing I sent her since the last time we spoke, and she just exploded. And this retroactively makes all of our interactions a waste of time. There was no point to her commenting on my video, me reaching out to her on Instagarbage, us exchanging information as it pertained to what we liked and a possible collaboration if it was going to lead to this. The thing I've never understood about people online, especially ones that pretend they're so interested in getting to know you, is how quickly they can shift gears. You can see in the screenshot that the last conversation we had was cordial and ended on good terms. She aborted any future interactions with me over one message that wasn't even nasty toward her. And I really question the logic of talking to someone and asking them all these questions about themselves, just for it to go nowhere when you abruptly stop responding and block that person when they confront you over doing that. I had a pretty similar incident to this one at the start of last year where you meet someone who either comments on your video or you comment on theirs and they try to get to know you and eventually they just stop responding. The only difference was that the person didn't block me. They just stopped responding and never reached out to continue. And this was why I sent her the message a few days ago, because I was worried the same thing would happen again. I think I treated her well. I waited week after week without the slightest sign of interest in her wanting to speak to me. I see how my patience was rewarded. From now on, when people leave comments on my videos and they have some link to their IG or some other offsite account where they talk to people, I'm going to pretend I didn't see it. There's no point in me trying to get to know online people anymore, because 9 times out of 10, it ends badly. The only good thing that came out of what she did is that now I no longer have to wonder when she'll eventually respond to me. At least now I know that I don't have to wait until 2040 to get a message back from a person that didn't appreciate me.